Today, we are exposing the 8 Aussie butter products that are effectively scamming you at the supermarket checkout. Because right now, in Coles, Woolworths and Aldi stores across the country, millions of Australians are paying premium butter prices for plastic tubs filled with hydrogenated vegetable oil, water, preservatives and yellow food colouring. The packaging screams fresh, creamy and spreadable and dairy blend, but the ingredient list on the back tells a dark story of cheap seed oils, industrial emulsifiers and a massive disconnect between what you think you are eating and what is actually entering your body. We have been tricked into thinking that soft means better, but in the world of food science, soft usually means chemical manipulation. Stay with us, because brand number 8 is so convincing and so popular that you probably have it in your fridge right now, believing it is the healthy choice for your family, the great Aussie butter swindle. To understand why this matters, we have to look at the history of the Australian fridge. For generations, Australians knew exactly what butter was. It came in a block wrapped in foil. It was hard when it came out of the fridge. It was made from 2 things, cream and salt. It was a simple, whole food that our grandparents ate without fear. But then 2 things happened: convenience culture and the low-fat movement. We became a nation that didn't want to wait 10 minutes for butter to soften on the counter. We wanted instant spreadability for our morning toast. Simultaneously, we were told that saturated animal fats were the enemy and that vegetable oils were the savior. The food industry saw a massive opportunity. They realized they could take expensive dairy fat, dilute it with cheap subsidized crop oils like canola and sunflower, whip it with water to increase the volume, and sell it back to us at a premium price. They swapped the silver foil for plastic tubs. They slapped pictures of idyllic rolling green hills and happy cows on the lid. And they used legally careful words like spread, blend, churned, and buttery to bypass the strict legal definition of butter. You think you're buying a dairy product, but in many cases, you're buying a chemical emulsion that is closer to margarine than anything a cow ever produced. We have traded nutrient-dense, vitamin-rich animal fats for inflammatory, processed seed oils. And the worst part is, we are paying a convenience tax for the privilege. So let's grab a trolley and walk down the dairy aisle to uncover the 8 biggest offenders that are pretending to be something they are not. Number 1. Western Star Spreadable Chef's Choice, the diluted icon. We are starting with an absolute Aussie icon, Western Star. The brand is legendary. Their original Chef's Choice block butter is the gold standard for baking and cooking. It is a fantastic product, but their spreadable tubs, that is a completely different story, and it is where the confusion begins. Western Star Spreadable is marketed as soft and spreadable, perfect for your morning toast or sandwich. You see the classic blue and gold Western Star logo, you trust the brand, and you grab the tub without a second thought. But look closely at the ingredient list. It is not just cream and salt anymore. It is a blend that includes vegetable oil, usually canola, and water. Here is the science they don't tell you. To make butter soft at 4 degrees Celsius, which is the temperature of your fridge, you have to break the crystalline structure of the milk fat. Milk fat is naturally hard because it is saturated. To soften it, they cut it with unsaturated vegetable oils that stay liquid in the cold. But you are paying for a product that is effectively diluted. You aren't getting 100% dairy fat. You are getting a mix that drastically lowers the manufacturing cost for the company while keeping the shelf price high for you. When you buy the block, you get pure dairy. When you buy the tub, you get dairy diluted with seed oil. It is a classic bait and switch. Use the impeccable reputation of the block butter to sell a cheaper oil blend at a premium price point. You think you are eating the chef's choice, but no self-respecting chef uses a canola blend for their high-end pastry. Number 2. Devondale Extra Soft Spreadable, the water trap. Number 2 is another heavy hitter in the dairy cabinet. Devondale Extra Soft. This tub promises extra softness, which sounds great for your kids' school sandwiches. Devondale is a farmer-owned co-op, which gives it a halo of trust. You assume it is pure dairy from Australian cows, but here is the reality check. Devondale Extra Soft contains as little as 43% actual butter fat. Let that sink in. Less than half of the substance in that tub is actual butter. So, what is the rest of it? The ingredients list reveals the truth. Water, canola oil, buttermilk powder, and additives. You are paying for water. In the food industry, water is the cheapest ingredient available. If they can figure out a way to sell you water at the price of butter, they will make a fortune. By using high-powered emulsifiers, they can whip water into the oil and fat mixture to bulk it out. This is why, when you try to cook with this product, it misbehaves. If you put Devondale Extra Soft in a hot frying pan, it spits, hisses, and pops. That is the water boiling off instantly. It doesn't brown beautifully like real butter. It separates into an oily, watery mess. You are paying for fillers. If you want 43% butter, buy a block of real butter and mix it with oil yourself. Don't pay Devondale to sell you expensive water disguised as a dairy spread. Number 3. Lurpak Spreadable, the prestige tax. Number 3 is the premium import that everyone thinks is the best. Lurpak Spreadable. This Danish brand is marketed as the absolute gold standard of butter. It comes in that sleek silver packaging. It costs significantly more than the local options, and it has a reputation for quality. It tastes salty, creamy, and feels like an everyday luxury. But flip the tub and read the back. Lurpak Spreadable is approximately 64% butter and 26% rapeseed oil. Rapeseed oil is just the European name for canola oil. Even the lighter version is filled with even more water to cut the fat calories. You're paying top dollar, sometimes over $9 or $10 a tub, for imported rapeseed oil. The marketing genius of Lurpak is convincing us that spreadability is a premium feature worth paying extra for, rather than a sign of dilution. Now, to be fair, Lurpak does taste different to Australian butter. That is because it uses a lactic culture. It is cultured butter, which gives it a slight tang, and it is often saltier. That flavor profile is delicious, we can't deny that. But structurally, it is still a blend. You are paying a massive prestige tax on a product that is chemically very similar to the cheaper blends sitting next to it. You are paying for the boat ride from Denmark and the silver packaging, not for nutritional superiority. Number 4. Olive Grove Classic Spread, the healthy imposter. Number 4 is the healthy imposter that tricks the health-conscious shopper. Olive Grove. The name implies it is made of healthy olive oil. The packaging features pictures of olives, green leaves, and Mediterranean themes, signaling heart health and longevity. But let's do the maths on the ingredient label. Olive Grove Classic contains 60% total vegetable oils. But within that oil blend, the minimum olive oil content is only 19%. That means the majority of the oil in the tub, 81% of the oil blend, is usually cheaper seed oils like canola or sunflower oil. Furthermore, real extra virgin olive oil is liquid at room temperature. To make it spreadable, they have to manipulate it. They rely on thickeners, emulsifiers, and intraesterified fats to give it that solid texture. You buy this thinking you are doing your heart a huge favor by eating olive oil, but you are mostly eating refined seed oils and industrial additives. Real olive oil doesn't spread, it pours. If you want the health benefits of olive oil, buy a bottle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil and dip your bread in it. Don't buy a tub of solidified chemical emulsion that waves a tiny olive branch at you from a distance to distract you from the canola oil. Number 5, Nuttelex Buttery, the flavor illusion. Number 5 is the vegan favorite and the allergy-friendly staple. Nuttelex Buttery. Now we need to be fair here. Nuttelex never claims to be dairy butter. It is explicitly a vegetable oil spread, and it is a lifesaver for families with dairy allergies or lactose intolerance. However, the deception lies in the buttery flavor marketing for the average shopper who is just looking for a butter alternative. Nuttelex Buttery relies on natural butter flavor and a blend of vegetable oils, usually sunflower and canola, to mimic the taste of dairy. It is essentially margarine rebranded for the modern era. It contains no dairy, which is its selling point. But for everyone else, it is a highly processed industrial fat product. It is often marketed as cholesterol-free and natural. But it is a factory creation. The buttery taste comes from lab-created aromatics, not from the complex diet of a cow. If you are avoiding dairy for ethical or medical reasons, Nuttelex is a functional tool. But don't fool yourself into thinking this is a whole food. It is a tub of solidified, refined seed oils. It lacks the complex nutrient matrix of real dairy fats, such as butyrate and fat-soluble vitamins, unless they are synthetically added back in. Number 6, Meadow Lea Buttery, the margarine classic. Number 6 is the classic margarine pretending to be fancy, Meadow Lea Buttery. The branding uses the word buttery in a huge swirling font, while the words margarine spread are often much smaller or less emphasized. Meadow Lea is a classic margarine made from plant seeds. It boasts 70% less saturated fat than butter, which appeals to the old-school dietary advice from the 1990s that demonized saturated fat. But to achieve that semi-solid texture without saturated animal fat, they have to use industrial processing. In the old days, this meant hydrogenation, which created trans fats. Today, Australian manufacturers mostly use a process called intraesterification. This rearranges the fatty acids on the molecule to change the melting point. While it is free from trans fats, you are still eating a product that was designed in a lab to mimic the physical properties of butter without the cost of dairy. It lacks the vitamin A, D, and K2 found naturally in grass-fed butter. It's a cheap industrial substitute that relies on the word buttery to make you forget you're eating a seed spread that would be grey or white if they didn't add the yellow coloring, usually beta-carotene, 160A, to make it look like it came from a cow. Number 7. Aldi Butterfully, the budget trap. Number 7 is the budget trap. Aldi's Butterfully, or similar house brands in other supermarkets. Aldi is fantastic for savings, and we love a bargain, but their Butterfully range is a prime example of dairy blend confusion. The packaging is designed to look exactly like a premium butter block. It uses gold foil or a yellow tub. It features cows and farm imagery, but the price is suspiciously low, often significantly cheaper than a block of Western Star. That is because it is a dairy blend or butter blend. It mixes butter with vegetable oils to cut costs. Aldi shoppers often grab it in a rush, thinking they scored a massive bargain on pure butter. They didn't. They bought a hybrid product. When you take this home and put it on hot toast, it melts into an oily puddle. When you bake cookies with it, they spread too much and come out greasy. It lacks the depth of flavor of real butter. It is a classic case of you get what you pay for, but the packaging is scientifically designed to minimize the visual difference between the real thing and the cheap blend. Number 8, Flora plant butter, the ultra-processed block. And finally, number 8, Flora plant butter, This is the new kid on the block, aggressively marketing itself as a direct replacement for dairy butter. It comes in a block wrapped in paper, looking exactly like premium butter. It even has salted and unsalted varieties, but it contains zero dairy. It is a blend of plant oils, usually faba bean preparation, canola oil, and coconut oil, structured to be solid at room temperature. While it is a technological marvel that they can make plant oil behave like butter, it is the ultimate ultra-processed food. It relies on extensive processing to deodorize the oils and structure the fats so they mimic the mouthfeel of milk solids. For vegans, it is a useful culinary tool for baking. But for the average shopper, it is confusing. You see a block in the dairy fridge and assume it is butter. It's not. It is a block of plant fat. The marketing focuses heavily on being better for the planet, which creates a health halo. But environmentally friendly does not always mean biologically appropriate for humans. If you want to eat plants, eat an avocado or some nuts. If you want butter, eat butter. Don't eat a block of highly processed oil pretending to be a cow product. The unit pricing scam. Before we look at the alternatives, there is one more trick you need to know: the unit price. This is the small print on the shelf tag that tells you the price per 100 grams or per kilogram. Often the spreadable tubs look cheaper than the block butter. A tub might be $6, while the block is $8. But look at the weight. The tubs are often 375 grams or 500 grams, while blocks are usually 250 grams or 500 grams. But more importantly, look at what you are paying for the actual fat. When you buy a spreadable blend, you are paying a premium price per kilogram for a product that is up to 40% cheap oil and water. If you calculate the cost of the butter fat inside that tub, you are paying an astronomical amount. You are paying champagne prices for a shandy. The supermarkets know that consumers look at the final ticket price, not the value of the ingredients inside. Don't fall for it. Always check the price per kilo and factor in that you are buying diluted product, the real Aussie alternatives. So, if the spreadable tubs are full of oil, water and lies, what should you buy? How do you solve the hard butter problem without compromising on health? Alternative 1. Block butter, the real deal. The best option is always the simplest. Buy a block of Western Star Original, Mainland, West Gold or Woolworths Macro Organic. Look for salted butter or unsalted butter on the label. The ingredient list should be short. Cream, salt, optional, that's it. No numbers, no oils, no water added. West Gold is particularly good because it is grass-fed butter from New Zealand, which is naturally higher in omega-3s and vitamins than grain-fed butter. It costs less per kilo than the fancy spreadable tubs, and it is pure, nutrient-dense fat. Alternative 2. The Butterbell, the life hack. If you hate hard butter destroying your toast in the morning, do not go back to the blends. Buy a Butterbell, also known as a French butter dish. This is a ceramic crockery pot. You pack real hard butter into the lid, and the base is filled with a small amount of water. When you put the lid on, the butter sits upside down in the water, creating an airtight seal. This seal prevents oxygen from reaching the butter, which stops it from going rancid. It keeps the butter soft and spreadable at room temperature on your kitchen bench for weeks. No oil, no fridge, no electricity, just soft, real butter whenever you need it. It is a technology that is hundreds of years old, and it solves the problem perfectly. Alternative 3. DIY Spreadable, the money saver. If you absolutely must have spreadable butter in the fridge, make it yourself. You can control the ingredients. Take 250 grams of softened real butter and whip it in a food processor with half a cup of high-quality extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Whip it until it is pale and fluffy. Put this back in a tub in the fridge. It will stay soft because of the oil, but here is the difference. You chose the oil. You know it is high-quality olive oil, not cheap industrial canola. And you saved money because you didn't pay the factory to mix it for you. The final verdict. We have let convenience rob us of quality. We accepted watered-down, oil-filled tubs because we were too impatient to wait 5 minutes for butter to soften or too scared of saturated fat. But the cost is our health and our wallets. You are paying premium prices for cheap canola oil and water. Next time you are in Woolies or Coles, ignore the word spreadable. Ignore the word buttery. Ignore the pictures of the happy farmers. Look at the ingredients. If you see vegetable oil, canola, or water in the top 3 ingredients, put it back. Buy the block. Buy the real thing. Your body knows the difference between a nutrient-dense animal fat and a chemically emulsified oil blend. If this video saved you from a bad buy, hit like and subscribe. We are exposing the truth about Aussie food every single week to help you navigate the supermarket traps. And tell me in the comments, do you use a Butterbell? Have you tried making your own blend? Or are you still stuck on the spreadable tubs? Let me know. Protect your plate, Australia.